All right, morning guys, I hope you're doing well today. Thank you for tuning in as always. Big shout out to all the subscribers, a massive gratitude to anybody new, welcome along. This video, another really important one, this is going to be about how you, the beginner, approaches and hits the heavy bag. Jab, relax, jab. I'm gonna be in the gym showing you clips. Exactly which direction you should be going in. Step, punch, step, punch. What type of punches you should be focusing on. Jab, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You could just do that, those punches in a row. That way you're practicing a jab, a combination. What type of energy you should put into the bag, what sort of mindset you should have, what not to do, what to do. I'm going to give you my best advice possible, so you actually have an idea of when you go to the gym, when you finally get to that bag, what to do. Because sometimes, you know, I do see it quite a lot, beginners do get a little bit lost. They don't know which punches to throw, they don't know how hard to hit them, they don't know which combinations, all this stuff. So this video is perfect for you. So without further ado, let's go. All right, let's get straight into it. Thank you as always for tuning in. This video is going to be, I'm going to be in the gym, okay? I'm going to give you a play-by-play from out here, but then I'm going to make you visualize it so you can see exactly what's going on from the gym. Yeah, you could alternate, right? Jab, cross, jab, cross, jab, cross. So you, the beginner, will have a really good idea of how to approach the heavy bag. You know, as I said, what punches to throw, which direction to go in, what type of energy you're looking for. All these things are really important. You have to treat the heavy bag, you know, with a bit of respect, really, because it is an amazing tool that can really help you build your strength. You can learn just about any punch. You can obviously drill your techniques. You can get very creative on there with your combinations once you get a little bit better. But when you first start out, it's really important that you just have a bit of respect for it and understand what you're actually doing. First off, try to relax as much as you can, okay? This is not just a heavy bag thing. This is a very important thing in boxing, period. It's gonna help your other, it's gonna help your punches flow. It's gonna help your mind settle down a little bit, you know? Yeah, it's super important to take your time, relax, practice the basic punches over and over, okay? Jab. Get good technique, don't go too fast or too powerful. Get the right technique, being relaxed, then you can move around a little bit comfortably. One mistake that I do see beginners come in a lot of times, almost always, and I understand it too, you know, they're so eager to hit the bag, they'll just come in and start throwing a million punches without really having a clear mind, without really having good technique, throwing them too hard, too fast, you know, all the technique goes out the window and there's no purpose. You got to have purpose when you're on the heavy bag, right? Especially as a beginner. So when you first start, right, relax. As I said, this is key, okay? Your focus is good technique, being relaxed, keeping the punches basic, keeping and maintaining a good stance. I can't stress it enough. Find your right distance. Now, this is actually extremely important, especially when you first start out, because, you know, there are three distances in boxing. You've got close up or on the inside. You've got mid-range, which is, you know, the middle distance, which is where you want to be when you first start out hitting the bag. And then you've got long range. And I'll explain why you need to use the mid-range straight away, because you're in punching range, all right, which is what you want to do. You want to get a good distance where you can actually hit the bag. You don't have to move your feet so much, and you can feel comfortable releasing your shots at that range without having to maneuver your feet. So get the right distance, and by doing that you can hold your fist up against the bag, you know, make sure when you punch the fist connects it at the right length, yeah? You don't want to be too close because you're going to smother your punches, and if you don't know how to get short shots off, which you probably don't, it's going to feel awkward. And if you're in the long range, then you're going to have to start using your feet, and that could be a bit more challenging as well. Not saying you shouldn't ever do that, but when you first start out, I'm talking about complete beginners here, definitely get to the mid-range, definitely get in range, punching range, where you can land these shots easily without having to reach or without having to smother yourself, right? That's really important. Jab, relax, jab. Okay, secondly is stick to the basic punches, right? This is another really important tip because, as I said, beginners will often try to throw so many punches like this, they don't know which punches to throw. Stick to the 1s and 2s, right? Jab, cross. Right, and if you really, really want and you know how to throw a left hook, you can include that in as well as you get on. Jab, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Because you know, you don't want to get so bored by throwing the same punches, but at the same time, there's a discipline involved with sticking to what you should be doing, because if you do get bored and you want to get more creative, but you haven't mastered those yet, then, you know, I would suggest you slow it down a little bit and master the jab. You know, every single video I'm going to drill home how important footwork is, how important the jab is, how important keeping your hands up is. These fundamentals, and maybe getting yourself, keeping your hands up and getting yourself maybe a good combination, like a good 1-2. You can practice all this on the drill. So the combinations you should focus on, right? Obviously the jab, cross, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then a 2, 3. Stick to those, right? Keep it simple. Understand that, you know, it's a time for you to get better at the technique as well, but you don't want to get bogged down or frustrated either. So get good rhythm with the 1s and the 2s. Like repeatedly. And at the moment when you first start out, you know, moving your feet could be a little bit difficult, but you can certainly keep your hands up, get a nice distance, boom, start hitting that jab, right? And if you do need to move, this is going to be the part where, you know, I've said before, if you're practicing a punch and you're first beginner, I always recommend beginners to stay in the same place, right? Because once you start moving your feet, it can complicate things. However, you're going to need to start moving your feet, right, eventually. So, you know, there is a bit of leeway for that. So I do understand you're going to have to move around a little bit. But when you do move around, I would recommend not necessarily going in the one direction, right? It really depends on how green you are. You know, if you're the first time comer and you're stepping one side, jabbing, stepping one side, jabbing, just to get acclimated, I understand that. Yeah, so footwork, right? Basic footwork. I'm here, big jab, right? Take your time, step, other foot follows it, you're in the same place roughly. Step, step, punch, step, punch, step, punch. And when you're stepping, it's actually really important that you don't step too close and smother yourself again, right? As a beginner, I want to keep the distance. So step here, punch, step here, punch, step here, punch. But to level up your game a little bit and just to level up your mindset and understand that this is actually an opponent, and boxing going one way is just not realistic, you know? You want to basically go in both directions. But you should be able to build this up when you start hitting the bag. You know, you'll be comfortable going in one direction, throwing the jab, right? Comfortable, setting your feet 1, 2, and going to the other direction, right? Moving around. And then at some point you're gonna have to like actually just, you know, when babies crawl and then they walk, there's like a phase where they might fall over, you know? So that phase, you're gonna have to do that phase as well, you know? And that's okay, that's all part of learning. But relax, all right? Understand what you're doing, keep your hands up, all right? Take good, basic, simple footwork, right? Going in one direction to start off with, getting your feet right, staying in the right range, okay? Boom, pop that jab, keep your hands up. Good stance and good form is what you're looking for, right? Yeah, it's super important to take your time, relax, practice the basic punches over and over, okay? Jab, get good technique, don't go too fast or too powerful, get the right technique, being relaxed, then you can move around a little bit comfortably. All right, get your feet set, jab, relax, jab. All these things can be practiced, and when you do them at a reasonable pace, then you can start to push them through on autopilot, right? When you're going so fast and you're just trying to focus on power and speed and all these crazy combinations, your stance and your being relaxed will go out the window. Now, I'm not saying at no point should you try to hit the bag hard. Maybe you want to reel off a couple of shots here and there. That's okay, you know? Get in the zone a little bit, you know? Get in the zone a little bit. 1, 2. Get in the zone. But focus the majority of your work on good technique, keeping your hands up, moving around the bag, right? Stepping nicely with good, clean, efficient footwork. What do I mean by that? Jab, step over, take your time, cross, step over, set your feet, jab, 1, 2. Basics, good, simple footwork. Well, one foot follows the other, and then make sure your feet are set, then punch, right? One foot follows the other. You don't want to step and then punch before your feet has landed. All right, you want efficiency, so you can build this up, and then you can, once you have efficiency at, let's just say 50-60%, well, then you can build everything up, and then you can start adding a little bit more power, a little bit more speed, as long as the technique isn't compromised. A few more combinations, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Make 1, 2, 3. Really getting a nice flow and a nice rhythm. Okay. And feeling good, you know, you want to try to enjoy yourself on the bag as well. You know, we're on the bag so many times that you're like, you have to, it's a mental battle a lot of the time. Is like, you know, what you're working on. You might get bored, you know, you're definitely going to get tired, but it's powering through those moments and not losing your shape, not losing your form, not losing interest, sticking with it. That's the discipline, and that's a big part of hitting the bag that I don't think really gets spoken enough, is, you know, being disciplined on the bag. And then, you know, later on you can move your head a little bit, but, you know, as I said, this is just for the beginners on basically day one, or a few weeks or months in, where you want to really understand how to refine your training style. And this video is for that. And, you know, as I said, you need to look at the heavy bag with a lot of respect. This is the tool that's going to really help you develop your power, develop your technique. And I talked about power, said don't think about power, but essentially when you do get better and better, without a heavy bag, you can't develop your power. You know, I really believe that. I think it's just, I made a video on strength and conditioning. It's quite an advanced video, but I talked about all the different types of bags and the different types of angles and the different types of power that I was able to get out of it. I'll leave the link up here. It's quite an advanced video, as I said, but it certainly will give you an understanding of how you can get stronger with the heavy bag. And I was watching a video earlier today, Raab boxing, this Russian guy who really is quite philosophical, and he really went into great detail about how to start hitting the bag, how to really respect it, and it got me thinking a little bit. And I do agree with him on a lot of stuff, but his stuff is really advanced, so I'm not going to bring that in now, but I'll leave the link in the description if you like. You can check it out for yourself. But quick summary, right? Get the right distance, relax, really focus on relaxing, okay? Keep it having good, simple, clean, efficient footwork, right? Keep the basic combos good, clean, and effective, right? Don't throw punches you don't necessarily know how to throw. Don't throw in massive bundles of like 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. Just stick to the 1s and 2s, maybe a 3. Stick to nice movement, right? Step around, jab. And when you're stepping around the bag, maintain that distance, right? Maintain the nice mid-range. Keep that distance going, all right? Keep your hands up, keep your shoulders relaxed, and pop that jab, right? Step around, pop that jab. And have a good time. Try to have fun, try to stick through it. If you do get tired, if your shoulders start burning, stay with the discipline, keep the shoulders up, keep your hands up, and just move around a little bit, side shuffling around. All these footwork moves I've actually done on videos on here, so check those out if you don't know what I'm talking about. And, you know, there was someone that posed a question about how to use angles on the heavy bag. You know, I'll do a separate video for that, because that involves, you know, maybe pivoting, head movement, body shots and stuff like that, because it depends what you mean by angle. You know, I could get an angle here, bang, like that, or I could get an angle here, boom, like that. So it's a bit more technical, and I wanted this video today just to be about the heavy bag and how you, the beginner, can approach it for the first day, and how to actually understand it and think about it. So hopefully, you know, that made sense. I'm actually going to the gym now, and then I'm gonna shoot the footage for this video, and then I'll bring it up later tonight, because I've got to go to the gym when I get back. So I'm not gonna have time to upload it and edit it yet, but I will put it out tonight for sure when I get back from the gym. That's it from me. My name's Henry. I teach boxing for beginners. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, smash the like button, hit the subscribe if you really enjoyed it. It's got to come from here. I've got an ebook. I'll leave that commercial at the end. I'm working on a commercial for this channel. I'm working on a membership fee, so you can sign up to the Patreon and basically send me your videos, and I will critique them and get your technique a lot better really quickly, and really help you improve your self-discipline, self-love, you know, self-growth, all these things that I like to add on to the channel, which are really going to help a person grow and develop, not just as a boxer, but as a human being. Anyway, as always, very grateful for you tuning in. That's it from me. Have a wonderful week. Peace. I'm out. Yeah, you just got to do the best you can when you're there. Focus, keep it simple, keep the footwork basic and effective, keep the punches basic and effective, you know. When you have a tired moment, keep your hands up, don't let your technique falter too much. Stay with it, stay disciplined, stay relaxed, and try to have fun. Not that easy, but you can do it. Get to work as often as you can, practice as much as you can, and believe in yourself. Yeah, that's a big ethos of the channel. Be your best, be the best version you can be. So that's it from me. Peace. Boxing on the Edge. Thanks for watching.
Boxing.
On the edge.